Hi guys, today we're making, as promised, the Asian tofu wraps in honor of Chinese New Year. And I have the tofu already cooking over here. We're going to go straight to the cooking because I provide the recipe online. I figure we don't need to go through all of that. But we're going to start with the tofu, which you have already, run out, made sure it's really dry, get all the water out of it, and chop it up. Actually, I just crumbled it right into the pan with a couple tablespoons of oil. And to that, I've already browned it. It took about 4 or 5 minutes to brown it. Now I'm going to add the 8 ounces of finely chopped mushrooms. And the mushrooms, I use mushrooms a lot in my vegetarian cooking. The mushrooms are really important for giving it that sort of meaty flavor, that umami in your mouth flavor. So we're going to let this cook over here for a few minutes. It has to get nice and brown and cook those mushrooms down a little bit. You want to get a good close-up of that. I don't know if you can see it. I've got it on a pretty high heat. It's medium high to almost high. And we're going to just let it cook on down. And while that's cooking, let's go over here to make the sauce. And this is really pretty simple. We're going to take hoisin. I wanted to show you the jar so you know what to get. We're going to take hoisin. We have a little bit of sesame oil, of course your regular soy sauce, and your rice wine vinegar. These 4 ingredients are really important to the sauce. They are what make it special. So let's just start. We've got our soy. I'm going to throw that right in there. It's 3 tablespoons of soy, 3 tablespoons of hoisin. Hoisin is it's soybean, black bean, soybean. There's a little bit of sweetener in it, makes it extra special. We've got the rice wine vinegar. Throw that right in there, blend all this together. And the last thing, and this is important, I hope you can find it in the store, the sesame oil really gives it that special flavor. So look for that. I've been able to find all these things at Center Market right in town. So all you're going to do is mix that sauce and set it aside. It's the last thing to go into the wrap. I'm looking at the mushrooms and the tofu, which is very nicely browned. And it's looking really good. It'll cook a little more once we add the sauce. But before we do that, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of grated ginger. This is fresh grated ginger. Yum. Really good. I think you guys know what ginger looks like. Here's a knob of ginger. That also can be found at most stores. You peel it before you grate it. Don't get the peel in there. That won't taste good. So then we're going to add, I think this is how much garlic. It's 2 cloves of garlic. 2 cloves of garlic, and I just chopped it. Just chop your garlic, same thing, peel and chop, peel and chop. And to mine, just because I happen to have it, I'm going to add some water chestnuts. They're canned water chestnuts, absolutely not necessary, but if you want to add them, they give there's not a lot of flavor with the water chestnut. It just kind of gives you a little bit of texture, a little bit of crunch. And the recipe calls for 4 scallions or green onions chopped. You're going to use approximately 2 of them in the, so just about half of what you chop. You're going to cook it into your tofu mixture. And the other half you're going to use as a topping on your lettuce wrap. So this cooks usually for about 5 minutes. You kind of want it to cook down, get all those flavors really blended. And then when you think it's ready, I'm just going to up the heat a little bit because I'm going to add the sauce. This is very simple. Now comes the sauce, which you've already mixed in a separate bowl. Add it right into your pan with everything else, and you have to get it thoroughly mixed in there. You're going to let this cook for probably about 2 minutes. Stirring it constantly. Make sure everything, oh my gosh, I can smell it already. I smell the ginger, I smell the garlic, I smell the sesame oil. Oh, it's wonderful. So while this is cooking, I'm going to reach behind me and get the lettuce. Now, I mentioned earlier in my email to get iceberg lettuce. You can get iceberg lettuce or you can use something called buttered lettuce. It's a little harder to find, but I just happened to find it. And the whole idea is to be able to get a piece of lettuce. Let's check these out. A piece of lettuce, you're not going to cut the head in half. You're going to peel so that you get sort of a cup. That's the idea. So we have basically 3 cups right here, just to give you an idea of how this rolls. So now I think we're actually ready to make a lettuce wrap. If you want to add some heat to this, you can always add red pepper flakes to your heart's content, whatever you like. And I think this looks pretty good. So I'm going to off our heat, and I'm going to make one of these right here. This is how simple this is, you guys. You just put some of the tofu mushroom mixture in the lettuce. I have a couple different toppings just for color. I shredded some carrots, which I think look really beautiful. And then you've got the rest of your scallion. And that little extra added green onion is usually so good. So then you just take it and wrap it, just like that. Kind of like, they say wrap it like a cigar. And then you take a bite. It's delicious. Oh my gosh, I love this. So go ahead, you guys. Make a bunch of these at home. Share them with your family. They're wonderful. Happy Chinese New Year.